The story began with a couple playing with fire while the woman struggled to reach the phone, which had been ringing for a long time due to the flood of messages. The next day, the wife arrived, greeted by her husband, and the two expressed how much they missed each other. Let's revisit their story. In New York City, Brooke Gatwick and Owen Shore are a young married couple who have known each other since high school. They have recently struggled with starting a family, and Brooke's artist frequently attempts to communicate with her in the middle of the night, infuriating Owen. Brooke is launching her own art gallery showcasing Ansgar Doyle's paintings. During an interview with Diana, Brooke's assistant, Ansgar said that his paintings are special to him. They represent an intimate and exact moment of connection captured forever in paint. After the talk, Ansgar openly professed his feelings for Brooke. He couldn't help but admire Brooke's beauty, even though her husband was right there. Diana didn't like Ansgar's work because she found it unremarkable, but Brooke disagreed and wanted to give the arrogant artist's creations a try. Owen called his wife, but she was still busy. Ansgar then teased Owen by saying that when a woman is absorbed in him, you can't talk to her. At a restaurant, they had a group date with their childhood friends, Adam and Eleanor, who are also a couple. The group discussed their personal lives and future plans. Owen revealed that he wanted to go on a Christmas vacation to Paris with Brooke. However, Brooke couldn't even think of a vacation until the gallery opened on Friday. In the middle of their conversation, Ansgar messaged Brooke again. Owen expressed his frustration that Ansgar kept texting, even at 3 a.m. Eleanor explained that since everyone cheats, she had been hiring a private investigator and joked that she could teach a course on it at Quantico. This prompted Brooke to excuse herself to go to the bathroom. At home, Owen wants to go to Paris for Christmas after the show opens, hoping that decompressing may help them conceive a child. However, Brooke prefers to concentrate on the gallery. Owen discreetly purchases plane tickets and decides to keep it a secret. Brooke discovers strange text messages on Owen's phone from someone named Sarah and suspects he is cheating on her. She tries to read them and finds a message that worries her. The next morning, Ansgar informs Brooke that Damien Light, a film director, is interested in purchasing his artwork and wishes to meet with them at the Maria's Hotel in Paris, which is why he is texting even at midnight. Brooke grudgingly accepts the business trip with Ansgar. Brooke immediately goes to her husband's workplace, where she suspects the women who work with Owen. She interrupts the conversation of those working and meets Kim, the new producer. She mistakes Natalia, the new intern, for Sarah. Brooke informs her husband about her upcoming trip to Paris. Owen is disappointed because, despite Brooke's previous refusal to vacation in Paris, she is now going there with Ansgar, the so-called myth of fidelity guy. Frustrated by Brooke's unexpected departure, Owen chooses a job in Las Vegas instead of going to Paris. Later, Brooke discovers Owen leaving in the middle of the night, which raises her suspicions about his infidelity. While Brooke is packing, her husband arrives and explains that his two new producers have assigned him to cover hard news stories. Owen allows Brooke to go on the trip because he wants her to be happy, even though he doesn't trust Ansgar. Brooke insists that he must trust her. While at a bar with his friend Adam, Owen meets Amy, a journalism major at Columbia. Amy recognizes Owen from his news program and requests an autograph and a picture for a souvenir. After that, Amy begins flirting with him. Owen admits that his wife is out of town. Amy then asks Owen to stay with her until her companion, Brianna, shows up. As the two grow closer, Amy receives a message from Brianna saying she has to bail. Amy then excuses herself to go to the restroom. Meanwhile, in Paris, Brooke and Ansgar are dealing with their client, during which Ansgar makes advances toward Brooke. After closing the deal, Ansgar invites Brooke for one more drink. Owen eventually takes Amy back to his home, where they have a steamy encounter. They are interrupted by Brooke's SMS messages. Regretting their tryst, Owen urges Amy to leave and never meet again. Amy asks Owen for assistance with her job after graduation, to which Owen declines. After finalizing the sale in Paris, Brooke returns to New York early. The couple obviously misses each other. Ansgar intends to showcase a painting of Brooke as the centerpiece of his gallery exhibition. She doesn't want the painting to be called Brooke, prompting Ansgar to name it Dream in Paris, which makes things even worse. On the opening night, Owen notices how close Ansgar and Brooke appear to be. Amy shows up at the opening night and catches Ansgar's attention. Owen also sees Amy, which worries him. He confesses to Adam that something happened between him and Amy the other night. Owen asks Adam to pretend they never saw Amy, no matter what. Their conversation is interrupted when Brooke arrives and asks if they know that girl. Owen lies to Brooke about seeing Amy at a bar the other night, with Adam covering for him. Ansgar introduces Amy to the group, and Amy mentions that she met Owen at the bar, which raises Brooke's suspicion. Unable to handle the tension any longer, Owen leaves first. After everyone has parted ways, Amy requests that Anskar drive her home. However, instead of going home, Amy goes to Brooke and Owen's apartment. Although Owen initially tries to ignore her, Amy insists she has something important to say. Confused, Owen listens as Amy reveals that she actually met his wife a few days ago. In a flashback, while the group is at a restaurant, Brooke admits that Owen has been acting weird lately. Eleanor advises her to put her phone away and give Owen a little attention, which Brooke agrees to do. The next day, Brooke reveals that she stole Owen's iPad to trace his texts during the midnight hours, despite knowing it is a violation of privacy. Confused, Brooke is advised by Eleanor to hire a decoy to prove whether Owen is cheating, but she decides against it. However, that night, as Owen is leaving, she checks the iPad to trace where her husband is going. Her suspicions intensify when she sees that he visits a place described online as a lover's nest. The next day, Brooke follows Eleanor's advice and hires a decoy, meeting Amy in the process. After getting the details, Amy reveals that she has saved Brooke's number as Brianna. She instructs Brooke that if she wants to abort the mission, she should simply send a message saying, "Sorry, have to bail." Meanwhile, in Paris, Brooke decides to cancel the mission, and Amy receives the message. However, Amy, who is attracted to Owen, decides to return to him. Meanwhile, Brooke and Anskar are celebrating, during which Anskar confesses his feelings for Brooke and invites her to his room to show her something. Since Brooke hasn't received a response from Amy, she decides to go to her room to contact Owen. The next morning, she finally reaches Owen, who is with Amy at the apartment. Brooke informs Owen that she is coming home. As she is leaving, Brooke says goodbye to Anskar, who tells her, "I'm yours," and encourages her to stay. However, Brooke is determined to go home. Amy met with Brooke, where she lied about what really happened and mentioned that nothing occurred because Owen was faithful to his wife. Since Brooke was not convinced, Amy gave her the table napkin with Owen's autograph as proof that she did meet him. Brooke then invited Amy to come to the gallery opening. On the night of the gallery opening, Owen went out first, but Amy followed him to tell the truth about her contract with Brooke. However, their conversation was interrupted when Anskar arrived to invite Amy to grab a drink. After this, Anskar insulted Owen, who was standing to the side. The two then had a confrontation, but it was stopped when Brooke arrived to break it up. After Owen and Anskar argued, Amy requested that Anskar drive her home. Brooke tried to poke holes in Owen's story on their walk to their apartment, even showing him the autographed napkin that Owen had given Amy at the bar the previous night. In the taxi, Owen recounted what happened, but his story didn't match Amy's earlier accounts, leading Brooke to realize that her husband was lying. Owen eventually admitted to sleeping with Amy, and Brooke stormed out, grabbing Owen's phone to check what he's been doing at odd hours of the night when he goes out. In the present, Amy admits that Brooke hired her as a decoy, and Owen feels like he was set up. Meanwhile, Brooke goes to Eleanor to vent her frustrations. After noticing a newspaper about an unfaithful senator, Brooke examines Owen's phone and discovers that he was not seeing other women but was working on a piece about the senator. Sarah is actually one of Owen's co-workers who had reserved an apartment for him and Brooke if they traveled to Paris. Brooke realizes that Owen's strange late-night outings were actually related to his work, something she deeply regrets. Brooke returns to her flat to discover that Anskar is waiting outside. She enters the apartment to find Owen and Amy conversing. She confronts them, thinking they were up to something bad again. But Owen denies it, stating that this wasn't the reason Amy was there. Amy apologizes for crossing professional boundaries, which angers Brooke. Owen is unhappy because his wife created a situation that pushed him to cheat on her. Amy then returns the money that Brooke had paid her before leaving the residence. After waiting for so long, Anskar was left with nothing, as Amy didn't go with him. Owen questions Brooke about cheating on him with Anskar in Paris, but she refuses to answer. During Brooke's stay in Paris, when she couldn't reach Owen, Anskar came to see her. Brooke revealed that Owen was cheating on her. At this point, Anskar invited her to his room, and she agreed to go. There, Anskar shared how he began to pursue his dreams. After some light flirting, they started to develop feelings for each other. But Brooke refuses to acknowledge or deny having made out with Anskar. Owen prepares some luggage for his trip to Las Vegas. Before he leaves, Brooke asks him if he is coming back for Christmas. Owen shows Brooke the tickets he purchased for Paris, which are still valid. She considers the future and imagines having a daughter with him in Paris. After reflecting on this, she finally accepts his proposal to have a Christmas vacation in Paris. For more videos similar to this, don't forget to subscribe and enable notifications. Thank you for watching.